Hello, my name is Scotland, and today I'm going to be talking about having faith in God and waiting on God. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is having faith in God. Starting off by saying, faith is the reality of what we hope for, the things we cannot see. The whole point of faith is trusting in God even when you don't understand what He's doing in your life. Trusting in God even when things don't go your way. Or if they do go your way, trusting in God that He knows what's best for you and that He's never going to fail you. God will never withhold something that's good for you. That is one thing God won't do. If something is for you and you really want it, God's not going to withhold it from you if it's not good for you. If He does withhold it, it's either that you're not ready for it yet, or it's just not for you and He has something better in store for you. And you have to have faith in God and trust God that He knows what's best for you, even when you don't understand it. Because we can't rely on our own understanding. Because our minds are limited, but God's mind is not. He knows every single thing that has ever happened, that's going to continue happening for eternity since the beginning. He knows everything. He knows what's going to happen if He gives you that thing that you desire so bad. He knows that thing's not good for you. And He wants you to have faith in Him that He's going to bring you something that is good for you. Because He'll never withhold something that's not good for you. So just know that if God is not giving you this thing that you want, it's either that you're not ready for it yet, or He has something better in store for you. So you gotta trust in God that He knows best and He will never let you down. And then I'm gonna talk about waiting on God. I have an analogy. Say you're out with your friends or family and you're so hungry, you haven't eaten all day, and you're like, oh, I want my food now. You order your food, but you don't want to wait for your food. And you plead the chef, beg the chef, bring my food out now. I'm not waiting anymore. Bring it out to me right now. And the chef, the reason why the chef doesn't bring out your food immediately and why it takes time is because the chef doesn't want to give you something that's not going to satisfy you. That's not going to be good for you. Because the chef sees in the kitchen what you can't see. That food is uncooked, it's not done. And the chef does not want to see his customers be unsatisfied. He wants to see them happy, enjoyed, laughing with their friends and family over a good meal. But instead of waiting on the chef, instead of waiting on God, they have something for you. We rush God in His timing. We rush the chef. And when you do that, the chef brings you food that's uncooked. And that uncooked food has potential to make you sick. It can make you sick, and so many things can happen just because you didn't want to wait. Sometimes when waiting on God, it's not always that you're not ready yet. Sometimes the place where He's taking you is not ready for you. So whether you're in a restaurant waiting on the food, or you're waiting for God to take you to a specific place in your life, it's not always that you're not ready for it yet. Sometimes you're not ready for it. It's either that you're not ready for that place, or that place is not ready for you. Or you're not ready for that person. That person could be ready for you, but you're not ready yet. Everything has to be interconnected. God doesn't want to bring you somewhere or bring you to someone that's not ready for you yet. That's not ready to receive your love. You have to wait on God, trust God, have faith in Him, that He will always bring you the right thing in the right time. And sometimes we think that God is taking too long. We're like, God, you're taking too long. I feel like I'm 20 years old. I feel like I'm 30. Where's my blessing? But something to know is God is never late and God is never early. He's always, in all caps, always on time. He's never late. He's never early. And sometimes it might seem like He's late, but He's not. So when you're having a hard time waiting on God, that's how you know when you need to shift your focus. Maybe you're focusing on the wrong things. Maybe you're focusing so much on the blessing that God might have for you, that God has for you, even if you don't know what that blessing is yet, rather than God Himself. First, you have to seek the kingdom of heaven, and everything else will be added onto that. Seek God first. Keep your focus on God, not on what He's going to give you. or not where He's going to bring you. Have faith in God, because when you get disappointed, sometimes trusting in God for something, that really showed what you were trusting in that whole time. When you become disappointed, because if you were trusting in God, there's no room for disappointment, because God never disappoints. But if you were trusting in that thing that He was going to give you, or probably was going to give you, or you thought He was going to give you, then you get disappointed when you realize that's not what God has for you. But if you keep your focus on God, if you wait on God, have faith in God, He's not going to let you down. He never will. That's not His character. He's never going to let you down. So have faith in God. Continue loving God and continue seeking God, and solely keep your eyes on God. Don't take your eyes off God like Peter did, because you're going to drown. And some people, they don't drown. You never drown because you fall in the water. You drown because you stay there. You can't stay there. So when things don't happen your way, you can't stay depressed about it. You can't stay sad about it. Of course you can cry. You can have your moment. Perfectly okay, because we're meant to express emotions. We're meant to let our feelings out and not bottle them up inside, because eventually, if you keep trying to bottle your feelings up, you keep trying to plug the holes, eventually you're going to burst into flames. And you're gonna stray away from God even more. Your faith, no longer have faith in God, no longer trust in God. Have faith in God. Let your feelings out when you need to let them out. And wait on God, because He wants to give you His best. That chef wants to give you the best meal you ever had. God wants to give you something that's greater than you could ever imagine. So have faith in God and trust in Him that He knows best. And waiting on God can be hard. I'm waiting on God. I don't really know what I'm waiting on. Because I did have desires in my heart. I'm not really sure if they're from God or not. But if they're not, then I have to be okay with things not going my way. You know? Have trust in God, knowing that He knows what's best for me, and that He'll never withhold something that's good for me. And He knows me better than I know myself. You know? So I have to trust in Him. I have to have faith in Him. So that's basically all. Just simply have faith in God. It's not simple. It's not as simple as it looks, but have faith in God, trust God, and wait on God, because He's never late, nor is He ever early. He's always on time.